So, Chuck, what's worse? Is it the hopelessness of Flyers fandom or listen, like when the Sixers beat the Heat, I tweeted, and it's a joke, but it's true. Like after watching maybe 3 to 5 Sixers games this year total, maybe I'm all the way back in, baby.
Right.
And then they give you what they give you in this series. And it's like, God, again? Like they got me again? Which is worse?
It's really tough. I think I'm going to go with the Flyers because there has just been so few opportunities for joy in being a Flyers fan over the last 6 years. Whereas, yes, the Sixers have a knack for making their fans the most miserable at the end of every season, but they do still get the fun of watching Joel Embiid.
You get to watch a superstar
produce at MVP levels. You get the fun of watching like Tyrese Maxey, like becoming a legitimate star level player. Like that is objectively fun to watch. Flyers fans, like what fun have Flyers fans really had over the past 6 years?
I was just thinking, like, you know, they almost beat Vegas at one point this season. And I was like, fuck, that was one of the best games I've watched in years. Like, at least, and I know it's no consolation when seasons end this way constantly, but I would kill to have the Lindros, like, yeah, they flame out in the playoffs and underperform, but I get to watch Eric Lindros. Like, that's what Embiid is. Like, oh man, a potential MVP every single season. He has the potential to at least be a finalist for the most valuable player. You at least get that. If they were to just like lose series in a normal fashion, that would be like a little less heartbreaking. Like, the Hawks series, like we talked about, that they led in, the last Celtics series that they led in, like the Kawhi shot, just things that go fucking wrong so hard. It's never just like the other team was better. What was was it a game 6 or 7 where they think they hit that 3 to win it against the Celtics, but they replay it. They shot off the cannons. The confetti comes down.
Oh, yeah.
They do the review, and it's like, nah, his foot was on the line. We're going to overtime. And they lose in overtime. Like that, like, if they ever could just lose normally, it might be a little like Flyers by a landslide. That sucks more because they're just irrelevant. You know, they're going to pick 12th probably, and it's one of their best seasons in years. And the Sixers at least give you something. But the fact that it ends in such a ridiculous fashion every single year at least makes it a contest.
I just think that, like, and it's more of, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. I just think it's more of a philosophical thing where it's kind of the concept of, like, is it better to have loved and lost rather than not have loved at all? Like, Flyers fans have no love for what the Flyers have been over the last 6 years. Sixers fans do have some love for what the Sixers have provided, but then they just get their hearts broken in the most painful way possible. I personally don't think that completely erases the good from the relationship that Sixers fans have with their team, but I am open to the idea that actually this is more painful. I'm open to it.
Like, at least Sixers fans get to play the song every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, you have something to celebrate, whereas, like, today is the anniversary of the Flyers beating the Devils in Game 1 of the second round in 2012. That's the last time they led in any playoff series except for the Montreal series in 2020, which, it's the last time the second round was on home ice was in 2012. Like, you got to play a home game because that 2020 is the bubble. And, like, that is the season of Knock Knock, Charlie. When we talk about playing the song, like, it's been 12 years since we even had that, like the anthem. Like,
we had the Squirtle sax song for a couple of weeks.
For a couple of weeks. I don't even know what that is, honestly. And the references are just, maybe I'm too old, but like, I don't even understand what the Squirtle sax song is. But like,
you are too old.
We don't even have that. Like, at least Dancing on My Own, like, Phillies fans get that.
Yeah.
You get to have those moments.
Yeah.
The Flyers have been so far from those moments that the theme song of Broad Street Hockey, for when we were the hosts for its existence, was a song from 4 years before that show even began.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's wild. It is. So, yeah, I personally would say Flyers fans have had it worse, but I will acknowledge that in short bursts, Sixers fans have had it worse.
And when we started talking about this is when I really started to think, like we say, nothing normal ever happens with the Flyers. It's never like, oh, Oscar Lindblom, high ankle sprain. It's like Oscar Lindblom, cancer.
Yeah.
You know, like
a guy
Nolan
in his
Patrick,
early 20s,
Yeah.
a professional athlete in peak physical condition. Yeah, he's got cancer.
Nolan Patrick can't just break his arm.
No.
He's out of hockey with a migraine issue. Like, okay. Oh, you know? And we were here the other day and we were finishing up our show as the Sixers guys came in and they're just getting ready, I think, for maybe they had a game that night. They're getting ready to watch the game and then do post game. And Kyle's just sitting there. He's like, can't they just be fucking normal? And it's like, man, this is what we say all the time.
Yep.
We all silly like the mayor.